forecast will help you realign with your dreams so you can manifest them into reality. Don't forget to subscribe.
Today we're doing our reading for the month of August to see what is in store for us and how we can best navigate the energy. But I also want to touch base on a little bit what's going to happen for the rest of the year so that you leave with that guidance. Also, I'm going to post this on YouTube. I'll cut off my image, and I'll post it on YouTube. So if you need to revisit this in August or a bit before, it will be there.
Perfect. Thank you.
No worries. When I tap into August, I feel a mix of things. I feel stillness, but at the same time, I feel the energy of rushing. So that tells me immediately that's going to be a lot of duality within August. And duality, we have the tendency of looking at it as now I'm still and then I'm rushing, for example. But what I do feel it's going to happen in August is they overlap. It's not one and then the other. They will be happening at the same time. So you could be rushing through life and feeling very still inside, not bothered by what is happening around you. I also feel that's going to be playing out in other topics, in other areas of our lives. It's not going to be just peacefulness or stillness versus rushing. I feel it's going to be sadness and love or sadness and happiness at the same time. So it feels very mixed feelings, very, mixed signals kind of month. So I think it would be really helpful if we weren't trying to figure out which one is it? Are we happy or are we sad? I feel like this month of August is literally to help us understand that we can be both at the same time. We can be funny and serious at the same time. We can be happy and crying at the same time. So our minds are going to try and figure out which one is it. And our job will be to remember both, all of it, or maybe even 5 things at the same time. But I feel like the mind will try to control it, will try to segment it, will try to make sense of it. And I don't feel like that's going to be productive. And if we fall into that rabbit hole, it's going to not allow us to fully enjoy and play along with the energy of the month that we're going to have. This duality theme that will be happening throughout August, I feel it's related to some astrological events. Then again, astrology is not my game, but I feel something around that space. There might be some full moons or planetary placements that will activate this for us. But also, when I look at the full month of August, I see segments of 3 or 4 days of real big happiness, 3 or 4 days of rushing, and then 3 or 4 days of absolute stillness, then 3 or 4 days of talking. Like, there's a theme that for 2 or 3 days repeats itself a lot, and then it transitions to something else. So I feel like we're going to be experiencing a range of emotions, but also a range of different experiences. Because if you are in a rest kind of vibe for 3 days, and then you're in a communication vibe for the other 3 days, it's like complete opposites. I do feel that part of what is happening here in August with so much, it's like what is happening, like all of it's coming in at once, gives me the sensation that this is helping us with a few things. One of them is to start becoming comfortable with speed, the speed at which things shift. And the other one is to experiment a little bit with identity. The identity of who we are, who we want to be. Do we want to be the person who's always happy or who's always sad? Or do we want to be the person who can live both at the same time? And the person who lives both at the same time is the person who is integrating into oneness. It's the person who is dissolving separation, because it's not either or, it is both or 3 or 4 things at the same time. So in a sense, August is also a way of helping us bridge that separation that we are experiencing in some levels, and start seeing that, oh, it's all at the same time. Everything is here for me. And I feel like as we go through the month, or better yet, towards the end of the month, we will be able to put things more into perspective and be like, oh, I am all things, but right now I want to tap into focus. Right now I want to tap into happiness. Right now I want to tap into romance. Whatever that is, there's a better understanding in our mind how all of it comes together, but there's also this taking back our personal co-creative power to determine and direct to which energy we are connecting to. So in that sense, it's going to be really empowering as well. Obviously, throughout this entire month of August, as we go through the waves, we will be seeing leaks of energy, leaks of energy towards our personal power, because if at the end of the month we're going to be able to grab it more, I don't want to say strongly, but like with intention and clarity, that means we need to see first what is there that's not allowing us to do it right now. So we're going to be seeing through these waves that we go through, these different moods and energies, we will start to see what is causing my personal power to leak. Where am I giving it away to others? How can I take it back? So as much there's it's duality month, but as much as there's engaging in life, there's also a big awareness of what is happening internally as we're going to go through every day. Our minds have the tendency to disconnect from that. Sometimes it's a self-sabotage, but sometimes it's just like, I need to chill and I will unplug, and then you forget to replug. So it's a good thing to keep a reminder or two around the house or in your phone with a few keynotes of what this month is about, so that you can come back to it, because I feel it holds a great potential for growth and for reclaiming our personal power, but only if we do it, as the energy is supporting us to do it. Obviously, we can always choose to opt out and not do any of the work, but then we also don't get as much benefits from it, right? So we're all here trying to realign with all the goals that we have, while being under the influence of these energies that are around us. So the more we are clear on what the energy is and the goal is, then we can better focus our path and our actions. So the actions this month, I feel, are around being aware, understanding that we are a bunch of things at the same time, and that's okay, that we are one with all the things, reclaim our personal power back, and then towards the end of the month, we will have more of that personal power to decide to which frequencies you want to connect. The frequencies that you want to connect, or that you will have the ability to connect, are the ones that you will go through during August, through the waves, I'm calling it waves. It doesn't necessarily have to be emotional waves, but it's just so different that I'm calling it waves. I'm seeing a particular moment here in the middle of August. It just feels like a one-day pause. Everything around us feels like it's stopping, or it's in slow motion. And I feel like that's a breath of fresh air. It's like we unplug here for a day. It feels right in the middle of August. We unplug, and then the next day, it's almost like you can start to see things that were in slow motion start to move faster. Like you can track the speed of it. So don't be surprised if there's a particular day that feels like nothing is moving, nothing is happening. My advice is avoid any important bookings, schedulings, meetings around the 14th, 15th, maybe 16th, just to be on the safe side, because what I see is like 15, but could be a day before or after. So that moment is a moment for you. If you can have a day for yourself, or just not have any important things scheduled, that would be good. And if you can put in some time to rest, that would be even better. I do feel communication is an important theme here, that it will be one of the things we will feel like we want to do for a few days, like really intensely. But I feel that after those 2 or 3 days, we will shift into something else, but the communication will establish a baseline. It's like for 2 or 3 days, we're like communicating as much as we can. And then we shift the mood, we shift the activity, the experience, but communication tunes down, but it's still there. We experience it very high, and then it kind of stabilizes for the rest of the month. So it's not like it's gonna completely dissipate. There will still be this urge to engage and communicate and express yourself. So that could be through being with friends and family, chatting with them, talking with friends that you haven't talked with for a long time, going on holiday with them, and just enjoying the experience together. Or it could just be that you want to share a lot of things on social media and reply to a lot of comments on posts. It can show up differently for everyone. But there's an element of being social and communicating in this second half of August. The first half of August feels more focused on the self, and then the second half feels more like externalizing the self. So the sensation I have is that this first half is when we're going through the ups and downs, changes, all of that, and then we start to become a bit more clear on what is the identity that we want to hold, and then it starts to like sink in for this second part of August. Again, because this is going to be a really intense process, it's what it feels like, it would be useful to track it, even if it's just a note or two on your phone each day. Like, what was the focus today? What did I do a lot of? Because that will tell you what is the part of identity that you are expressing. For example, if you had a lot of fun today, you're expressing your fun side, right? If you did a lot of things, I don't know, like playing board games, and it was a lot of fun. Well, those are two things that are part of your identity that you can now choose to incorporate or let go of. But you need to be aware of what that was. What was the theme of the day that you were playing out? It's like we're going to be actors. One day we're going to be acting out part of our identity, the next day or the next couple of days another part of it. And we need to become familiar with, did I like it? Did I not like it? Did it bring good feelings? Did it make me feel really bad or just nostalgic? Because that's going to give us some clarity towards what parts of our identity we want to keep. And better yet, which part of our identity is what we see as our personality, our baseline, our pillar. How do we see ourselves? Because we all have, not just values, but we have, I don't know how to call it, we have personality traits that we resonate a lot with, that we consider our foundational identity upon. And sometimes we're not very clear on what those are. And this is going to give us some clarity if we do the work in this way. If every day we take a little bit of time to just a couple of topics, like I did this and it was very enjoyable, or I rested a lot and felt really good. Or if there's any particular lesson that you learned, that would also be helpful. And if you want to take it to the next level, you can also have a look at, where did I leak energy? Where did I place my time, energy, and intention and focus that amounted to nothing? It could be that you spend the whole day thinking about this one thing that you need to fix in a month or two, and it's just like haunting you a little. Okay, that's an energy leak. It could be that you spend your whole day working on a project that you didn't feel like working on, and then at the end of the day, we're not productive, nothing got done at all, and it was just a waste of your time because you were forcing yourself to do something you didn't like. Or it could be that you tried to rekindle an old friendship and you realized that wasn't going to happen because you just kind of forgot why you broke it off in the first place, and then you're reminded of it. Could be that someone is making decisions for you and you're just tagging along. Could be that You're letting people boss you around. Could be so many different things, but it would be helpful to see them, because once you see them, you cannot unsee them. And that's when real change starts. So seeing what is there, it's a very important step for the next time it happens, to be aware of it as it's happening in the moment, and then later on starting to counterbalance that with reclaiming your power and making different decisions on the spot. But I see us walking through August like it's like internally we are relaxed, we are chilled. It's like we get this feeling that we can trust what is happening. We can trust the unfolding of the events. We understand that the events that happen around us do not define who we are. We understand that the experiences we're going through are just a selection process that we can later choose of what do you want to keep, what do you want to let go of. We understand that August is just a moment in time where we get to cut off energy leaks, claim our power, and that the real feeling here is the experiences around us do not define us, do not define our whole experience, do not define who we're going to be moving forward, do not define who we are, what we're getting, which results we're getting. So if in August you don't get a lot of results, it doesn't mean it's going to be like that moving forward. And it definitely doesn't mean that's who you are. So it's like we're creating this awareness that the experiences around us do not have to define who we are. And that's very powerful. And I feel like I cannot translate into words how deeply that will run. I'm going to try, but I feel like I'm just touching the tip of the iceberg, honestly. When something happens and you just create a story around that, and that creates an identity about you. Like let's just take the board games example. One day you sat down with your family, you all decided to play board games, and you lost all the games. And then in your mind, you're like, I'm just really bad at it. You just created an identity piece about you that says, I'm bad at games. And that thought creates not only an identity piece, but it will create a pattern in your life. It will say in your subconscious, I am bad at games. So anything that you perceive as a game, you will manifest being bad at or losing at. Okay. So if, for example, you perceive dating a game, or there's this thought of dating game in your mind, you will automatically be creating the experience of losing or not getting the outcome that you want, because you created a pattern that's going to expand throughout your entire subconscious and reality. So it all started with a story, an experience that led to a story, that led to an identity, that led to a pattern that keeps you away from what you really want in life. Okay. And I feel like we've been telling a lot of stories like this about ourselves to ourselves for a very long time. And I feel August will be the moment where we will start seeing those stories, and we will have the opportunity to just say, I'm changing the story. And literally, you can just use your voice and say, I want to change the story. And that will set the intention. And you can even, say out loud the new story that you want to create and how you want it to be. And you can just say, well, there was just a day that things didn't work out for me, but that doesn't mean I'm bad at playing board games. That doesn't mean anything about who I am. That was just an experience. And now I get to claim that I'm good at games, that I always win games. Now, obviously, this is a very everyday basic example, and this will be happening in so many areas of our lives, and in deeper core concepts of, identity, personality, foundational structure aspects of our lives that we build upon. So I feel there is the opportunity in August to deconstruct. And a lot of the times when we talk about deconstructing, people get a little bit scared because it's like a tower moment kind of thing, if you're into tarot, which often is a little scary and unsettling. But what I feel for August is it's not like that, because the first half, when you are deconstructing the most, there's good experiences happening, and they shift so fast that you don't get to stay in the negative aspect of the experience for too long. It's like 2 or 3 days and things are shifting. So it's not like you deconstruct and you have that, breakdown moment and you stay at the bottom of the well and you have to rebuild it all back up. It's not like that. It's more surface level. It's on the emotional side. It's like 2 days, I really don't like it. Okay, let me shift it around. 2 more days. Oh, this is really cool. Awesome. 2 more days. And you're like, I'm not sure about this one. So there's going to be shifting, which will make things go by faster. And when you reach the halfway through the month, that there's stillness point, after the stillness point, there's already regaining control of your personal power and being able to be more intentional with your creations and having more clarity on what those aspects of your reality that you want to claim back in and your personality that you want to claim back in. They're going to be so much more present that the deconstructing that will be happening at the same time won't even be as bad as the first part of the month. Like, it will still be happening, but with less impact emotionally and mentally. Obviously, that leads to the conclusion of the month of, it just feels really exciting when I look into the last 3 days of the month or so. There's this openness in our energy because we did go through a deconstruction moment, and it stripped away so many limitations that we were perceiving. It took away so many stories that we were telling ourselves about who we were, that at the end of the month, we just feel free. We feel like we can be free to do what we want as we please. There's no limits. There's no shoulds. There's no musts. There's only absolute freedom to say and be and do what we want. Even if our reality hasn't caught up to it, because the first shift is internal and then the external shift comes. But this feels like the start of a reality shift that will happen in September. So this whole process leads to an openness of our energy, of our aura, that is going to say in September, okay, life, universe, bring my energetic match now. I've opened up, I've deconstructed, I've changed the story, the narrative of how I see myself and who I am and who I want to be. Now it's your time, your turn to bring about the manifestation that matches the vibe that I'm putting out there. And I feel we're going to get surprises. We're going to get good surprises in September, honestly. I was talking to some friends who were saying, one of my friends said, I think September is going to be real life changing. And the other one said, I don't know what's happening, but a lot of people are saying that. I'm just getting excited. And it's interesting because I'm seeing that here in September, there are like positive surprises. It feels like a very uplifting vibrational month. It feels like there's more happiness, lightness. It's almost like we float throughout September. Like we're not grounded in the heaviness of the inner work. So it feels like more enjoyable, less hardworking. It feels like the desire to be immersed in life and enjoy good moments is here. So maybe for some of us that means holidays or travel. But it feels more detached, less grounded, less masculine energy. Masculine energy is very like focused, goal-oriented, fixing kind of thing. And September feels more like feminine, just allowing and flowing and enjoying and being. So it feels very connected to the qualities of the feminine. And then at the end of September, I just feel like a relief. You know, when you go on a really long holiday and then you come back home and you unpack and you sit in your sofa and you're like, well, that was good. I think now I need to come back to reality. I need to go back to work and all the things. That's what the end of September feels like. So maybe there's an actual holiday in there somewhere, or a positive change that you were looking for. But it definitely feels like a month filled with surprises, like positive surprises, because our energy has opened up and shifted so much. The stories that we transmuted were so important, that maybe suddenly you start winning all the games. Maybe you find someone that you really want to date, or finally that promotion you were waiting for drops in. There are positive shifts there, indeed. Now, October feels a little gloomy though. You know, after the holiday, when you come back to work and you just feel like, let me settle back into the routine. Let me settle back into all the things that I need to do. And there's that moment that dawns on you when you're like, I probably need to do a lot of the things that I don't want to, or that I don't feel like. And this is the trap we need to avoid, okay? Because we spend the whole of August getting rid of all the things that tell us what to do, that suck our personal power away. Got rid of the stories, we get rid of the leaks, we claim back the personal power, we go on holiday, it all feels amazing. And then when we come back into our everyday life, the tendency is to go back to the old patterns of allowing life to drag us around, allow people to tell us what to do, allow our minds to say, you should do this because, you know, that's what everybody says and what you heard at some point. So you must, you have no other choice. So October, the challenge will be the mind, and not letting the mind throw us back into the old patterns that we worked so hard in August to let go of. I feel like October, if we want to do the work, if we want to stay in alignment here with our energy, October requires us to be very mindfully present, to be a lot more present than August. Because August, like at the end of the day, if you just take a couple of notes, that's fine. October will require us to be in touch with what our mind is telling us as we're going through the day. Because the mind will always be, you know, how do I say, giving its opinion, its judgments, as we're doing things or deciding not to do things. It's like, I'm going to drink a lot of water. Oh, but is that healthy? I'm not sure that's healthy. I saw someone saying that's not really healthy. So maybe you should stop, or maybe you should continue. And I feel like our job will be to say, mind, stop. Because right now I'm just going to follow my authority. And for us here, our authority is emotional. And when I say authority, I mean human design authority. So October will have a great opportunity for us to rewire the mind to be placed at the service of the authority and not the other way around. It will be, it's work that needs to be done on a regular basis. So it's not like you do it for 2 or 3 days in October and you're done with it. It's going to be the whole month. So it's going to take us a while. But it's also going to grant us a whole new level of freedom in our lives, because the mind is not controlling anymore what we do, when we do, how we do. I was feeling something else here for October, but it kind of flew away from me. Let me just see if I can bring it back. It was related to this having the authority lead. Can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe it's not important or as important. But it was related to letting the authority lead. It just feels very important to be in touch with how we feel to make the decisions that we want to engage in. It will give us more awareness of when is the mind speaking, when is the emotional part speaking, or whichever authority you have. Also, when the mind is not able to make as much judgments and give as much opinions, it doesn't create as many stories about who we are and what we go through based on our experiences, which is helpful to not build up a lot more stories because we've just let go of so many during August. November feels like preparation for something bigger. Obviously, with, there's a lot of people who celebrate Christmas and travel during Christmas time. There's Thanksgiving, there's all of these things, but it feels like preparation. I'm trying to see what it is, because all I feel is November, December, there's a buildup of energy. There's a buildup that I feel it goes into next year. And it's almost like I can't breathe when I look at it. You know, when you're taking a deep breath and you go, and then you hold it? It's what November, December feels like. Bringing the air in and holding it. So to some extent, it's like we are not being able to release. We're going to be holding a lot of things inside. So this is the perfect moment to use our energy healing techniques and meditation and all the practices that you have to let go of what doesn't serve you. But I just feel like holding on to little things and making them big things. Like, let's just say somebody told you, oh, you did this thing and it was wrong. And your mind goes, oh, we did something wrong. And you're like, no, let's fall into the authority. Let's just follow what we feel like. But at the back of your head is like, I did something wrong. Oh my God, I did this thing and it was wrong, and people told me it was wrong, and now they don't agree with me, and now they're not going to like me, they will not want to hang out with me, my friends are probably going to break up with me. So it starts to escalate things and it builds them up on the background, not on the surface level, because the surface level you worked through the previous month. But now it's another layer of how your mind controls your identity and how your mind leaks energy. So there will be a lot of this building up on the back of your head. It's really, really important here in November and December that we do take the time to clear this out, preferably on an everyday basis, because we pick up on little things like this every day. There's always some judgment, some opinion, some experience that leads us to build up a certain perspective in our subconscious. Then it all starts to try to control us. So if you do some meditation, release the energy of what you heard each day, what people told you each day, and trust that the energy that will leave you is simply what does not serve you. Whatever is yours will still remain with you. Whatever is important for you will be there for you. So it feels like November, there's a lot of possibility for being conditioned and limited through others. And then our mind takes that up, amplifies it, and controls us a little bit more. So this is another level at which we are not able to follow our authority, or another behavioral pattern that we have that stops us from doing so and feeling free. And just try to remember after September, the feelings you're going to get in September are the feelings you should always have. And they don't just happen because they happened as a result of you allowing what is not you to be transformed, like we're going to do in August. We allow the transformation, we run with it, we still keep our goals in mind, but we allow the process to happen. And then we feel amazing and life feels good. And once we graduated, a new level comes up, and that is October. And then in October, you graduate. And then you move into November, December. Okay. November, December is going to be a lot of mental energy, which I find quite interesting, because normally December is a month where we are more connected to the heart. But here it just feels like the mind will try and override it. So whatever work we do in November, if we really place our focus and our intention, we can slow down these thoughts that we have in our mind so much to the point that we will still be able to connect a lot with our heart space in December. Now, if we don't do this amount of work in November, I feel like we're going to be in our minds in December, and that can cause quite a few issues. I feel that to some extent that might cause us to have arguments with other people, because we start to externalize the patterns that we've been creating in our minds. They've been there brewing, and then it's like you start to take action based on them. And that leads to tension in relationships, that leads to conflict, that leads to breakups, that leads to ending contracts, that leads to rupture, basically. So the amount of work you do in November can shift December completely, but that will depend on you. If it does shift December, it will shift the second half of December. So from the 15th forward. If not, from the 15th forward, so all the dates that have Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year's, all of that will be filled with tension and rupture and difficulties in relationships. So it seems like we're going to have the possibility to choose through our actions, through our intentions, which kind of Christmas and ending of the year we will have. It's like there's a timeline split, and depending on what we do here up until November, we're going to enter either one timeline or another. The second one being better. We want to be in a heart space, not in the conflict space. But I feel like it's promising. Now, I feel this heavier, more gloomy type of vibe over these last 4 months of 2025, but we're still in August, so we need to come back to here because August and September, they are more fun. They are more enjoyable than the rest of the year it's going to be. Because it just feels like lighter, flowier, not as intense in terms of work. And then we dive into internal work. Now, it also matches up with the seasons, right? Every season has a kind of a vibration to it. And as we start to enter into autumn and then moving into winter, it's a period where we go more within. So it's a period where we normally do like the most intense inner work. And autumn, I always feel like it's like the end of the day when you're contemplating the sunset, and there's a bit of nostalgia with it, that you're like just seeing how your day was. It was so good and it feels so graceful. Yet at the same time, you're already looking into, night is about to start, and there's a lot of things that come with night, a lot of feelings. So that's what October till December feels like. It's the true autumn vibe. And everything has its season, and each season is good and important and really helpful. So let's not feel sad or bad about these last 3 months, because maybe there's still more positive things to come in them. I was just reading like the overall vibe of each of the month, but there will be readings for each one of them more detailed. So there's still hope for them to be better than what I'm perceiving here, to be more fun and exciting.